Tonsuring and ear piercing are traditional rituals followed in our country. We usually perform this ritual after baby's first birthday. Due to pandemic, we couldn't travel to India. We waited for situations to get better, but the recent cases discouraged our travel plans. Finally, we decided to shave her hair at home before her second birthday. When we shaved her hair, she was 22 months old, and you could see the length of her hair in this video. Please note that we are not experts. We are parents just like you. We have just shared our experiences and learnings in this video, presuming that this might give you some idea if you are going to try the same for your baby in a foreign land just like us. We used Philips trimmer. This is not a paid promotion, but I strongly recommend this because this did a great job. It was too smooth on baby's soft scalp. No cuts or blood as in traditional shaving using blade. You can use this protective head for more younger babies. As she was nearly 2, we didn't use this, but you shall use this for more caution. You can gradually change the protective head positions. When the hair is dense, the protective head is pulled out, and when the hair is short, the protective head is pulled in closer to the trimming teeth for a closer and clean shave. I'll give the Amazon link for this trimmer in the description box below. As per our custom, we have to make the baby sit on the lap of maternal uncle for this tonsuring function. My second elder brother stays here in St. Louis. It's just a 5-hour drive and he drove to our home with his family for this function. We have reserved the firstly cut hair in a ziplock. This is called Poomudi in Tamil. Next, when we go back to India, we'll take this with us and offer this to God in our native temple. Prefer uncarpeted area for easy cleanup. We chose the space between our kitchen and dining. Use a big and old bedsheet or sari to collect the falling hairs. We started cutting her lengthy hair with scissors, but later we realized that this was not required at all. A trimmer could easily handle a toddler's hair. From our experience, we have learned that we could have avoided cutting with scissors and directly went with trimmer. It is tough to make babies sit at one place for a longer time, so just avoid unnecessary steps like this. First, we shaved the back of the head. It is better to go against the direction of the hair growth. So for the back of the head, go from bottom up. Don't try to do it very perfectly from the beginning. Just keep shaving and go with the flow. Finish off the entire head as quickly as possible. Then later you can come back to remove the patches here and there for a complete clean shave. First we gave a homemade cookie in the hand for distraction, but sooner we got it from her because of 2 reasons. First reason was she started to cry. It is not advisable to give food to babies when they are crying because it might cause choking hazard. And the second reason was that the cookies got sprinkled with her hair. Now you could see that he had finished the back portion and moved to the top. The advisable direction for the top of the head is from outside towards inside as shown in the video. You could very well see that my baby was moving her head drastically, but the trimmer was more baby friendly and it didn't hurt her a bit. And coming back to distraction, we showed her a screen for diversion. I actually didn't give her any screen time till her second birthday. As she was seeing the rhymes in screen for the first time, it kept her engaged amidst her crying. Before tonsuring, better remove baby's dress and wear a disposable diaper for easy cleanup. Do this shaving in a daytime with ample light. And don't do this after baby's mealtime. As many babies cry continuously, they might throw up. So they should neither be full nor be hungry. And finally, look for left out hair patches and shave it off. For a complete tonsured look, do shave the hairs in the forehead too, but we somehow missed it out. After tonsuring, give a warm water wash for the baby. The water shouldn't be too hot. Also, don't use soap or shampoo for the head to avoid any itchiness or dryness in the scalp. Just a plain water wash should be sufficient. Be very gentle and pat dry using soft cotton towel. As per traditional method, you can mix sandalwood powder with water and apply it all over the scalp. This will greatly help in avoiding dryness and itchiness in the scalp. If that's not available, you can very well use virgin coconut oil. It gives the same cooling effect, moisturizes the scalp and avoids itchiness. It is very common to see such black patches after first tonsuring. These are just birth patches. While tonsuring, do not try to shave out the patches. Just shave out the hair and not the patches. Also, don't be too tempted to scrape off these patches. Scraping the patches will cause itchiness to the baby. Just apply coconut oil twice or thrice a day. The patches will get soaked in the oil, loosen and fall off on its own. This video was taken 2 or 3 days after tonsuring, and you can very well see the reduction of patches in this video. Hair growth will not be affected by the use of trimmer. The rate of hair growth will be same as the traditional tonsuring method. Apply coconut oil daily and give hair bath using baby shampoo twice or thrice a week. And that's it about tonsuring. Now let's move to ear piercing. I wish to pierce her ears in India with her parents around, but with the spread of new virus, our travel plans seemed to be a distant dream. Also, people around me kept on insisting me that ears have to be pierced when they are soft and tender, at the least before her third birthday. As they grow old, the piercing will be more painful and also the healing time will be more. I'm not sure if this is a myth or a fact, but I just didn't want her to endure more pain. So we just decided to go for ear piercing here in USA. As she cried a lot for tonsuring, we just prepared her a bit for ear piercing. We didn't scare her by telling that it would be painful. We just told her that two persons would be putting new earrings on her ears. And as you could see, she was so excited to have new earrings just like her sister. Two trusted and highly recommended places here are Banter's Piercing Pagoda and Claire's. We couldn't spot Pagoda store near us, so we went with Claire's located at Indiana Premium Outlets in Edinburgh. Both Pagoda and Claire's are jewelry and accessories shops. They do offer ear piercing service too. Though you can just go for a walk-in, I do recommend to call them before and check for available timings. For babies, they prefer 2 shots at a time, that is, piercing 2 ears at the same time. If they go one by one, they might be frightened and might not cooperate for the second shot. But the option is completely left to your choice. If you are opting for 2 shots at a time, then you have to call them before and check for the availability of 2 staffs to do the procedure. You cannot take your own stud. You have to purchase the stud from the shop, only from the available choices designed specifically for the gunshots. We have arrived, and this is the Clay stores full of girly stuffs. These are the available choices to select your stud. For babies or toddlers, there were only 5 choices, and out of these 5, we chose the second one, the pink stud. And all these are 14 karat gold studs. The respective prices were in the back of this board. These are the costs for the stud, and the ear piercing will be done for free of cost. The standard and rapid rates depend upon the solution that you choose. If you choose standard solution, they'll just provide you a cleanser to apply in the ears post piercing. If you choose rapid solution, it does both cleansing job and also it prevents ear infections. The cost of rapid solution is $12 more than the standard solution. We went for rapid, and including tax, we paid a total of $80. There are many topical numbing creams available online to go for painless piercing, but we didn't want to test anything on our baby without our pediatrician's advice, so we didn't use any such creams. If you want to try such numbing creams, please ask your pediatrician. She was very happily playing with the toys in the shop. As we have already told her about the procedure, she was not nervous. She actually cooperated very well. You can see that in the next video. பாப்பா காதுல தோடு போட்டு பாருமா. எந்த காதுல? இந்த காது.
You want to have a look at those marks I made and some of those are at? Are they one? 2 people? Sure. Yeah. I'll have you take one hand and hold her head to your chest. Like take your forearm and put it on her forehead and just pull it to your chest.
Yeah.
And then grab her arms with your other arm just so she doesn't get on us. Massage. Raise your elbow just a bit so we can both get in here. Okay.
Yeah. You're going to do it together?
Yeah. Okay. You ready? All right. On 1, 2, and 3.
She cried aloud for 2 minutes. Then we gave her a lollipop. Lollipop was a very good distraction which helped her to calm down. But for the first 1 hour, she was complaining about the ear pain on and off. We just kept distracting her. This video was taken 2 hours after piercing. Just keep them engaged to distract away from the pain. The ears might look reddish for the first 2 hours, then it should come back to normal color. For the first 2 days, they'll have pain on and off, then it will be greatly reduced, but it will take at least 3 weeks to 1 month for the wound to heal. For the next few weeks, wear loose dresses that are easy to put on and take it off without disturbing the ears. Closely watch the ears for 2 months. If there is any redness, swelling or inflammation, consult your pediatrician immediately. They asked us to apply this solution in her ears 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Like any other antiseptic solutions, I guess this gives a burning sensation and this made her cry a lot. We forcefully applied this for a week, but then she literally started running on seeing this. So we just moved to our traditional coconut oil treatment, which worked well. Apply coconut oil at least for 2 months. Each time, whenever you apply coconut oil or the solution, you have to gently twist the stud. After 1 or 2 months, you can and you have to remove these studs and change to a pair of new studs. Make sure that the stud is not so tight in your baby's ears. There should be ample gap between the stud and the ear as shown. Hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.